who needs to hear this, but if you are single and you're feeling super lonely because it's the holidays, you are not alone. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you either. Like, you're not defective just because you're not in a relationship. And just because you didn't have success in 2024 does not mean that you will not have dating success in 2025. Because that's the crazy thing about dating. Never know when or who you're gonna meet. But if you give up now, then you are killing your chances of actually meeting someone. So stay in it.
Something that I've learned by watching this content for well over a year now is that women are never satisfied. You can give them everything. Never satisfied with their careers, with the men they date. They're never satisfied with them. There's always an ick, or there's always something these men are doing that they're trying to change. You know, you see these videos of these women trying to change all these men to be their perfect guy, and it's not going to work because people really don't change that much. Okay, these women haven't changed. They're not going to change. Okay, I mean, they are going to get online and beg for men's attention. That's definitely something they will do, but they won't change. They don't want to change. They have no issue being exactly the way they are, staying exactly the way they are, and then wondering why men aren't going to tolerate it. Oh, and better yet, they get to the ages of late 50s, early 60s. Sometimes this happens in their 40s. And now all of a sudden they're willing to do all these changes and be this totally different person for the right guy. Like, that's way too late. In your 40s, really? Let me go to the store and buy one of them Christmas hams on April Fool's Day. Yeah, and I want a nice 5-month-old ham to bring home. Like, nobody is shopping for expired food. Okay, nobody wants expired food. Okay. There are plenty of places, plenty of men that these women can go to, find relationships, absolutely no problem. But these types of men that they are actually on the same level as these men, which is kind of crazy, is they are on the same attraction level, on the same financial level. These men are not good enough for these women. And they will never be good enough for these women. These women would rather be alone. And that's perfectly fine with me. I think a lot of these women need to be alone regardless of what they want, because they're not going to be able to make a man happy. A man is not going to be able to make her happy at all. She's going to be completely unsatisfied. So it's going to be bad news for both parties involved. Just stay alone. Let these men live their life in peace. You can keep doing your social media, your whatever content you've been making that's been working for you. I think this is a good agreement. I think this has been working out perfectly fine. But something that will never change is women like to complain. Women like to complain about the holidays. And today I have a few clips we're going to be going over about New Year's. New Year's is coming up. Well, what's today's date? Today is the 30th. New Year's is right around the corner. Actually, New Year's Eve is tomorrow. And these women are, well, let's go ahead and let's just get into the clips. How's it going? My name's Rat Boy.
If you're sad about being single for New Year's, just remember, the way that you ring in New Year's is the way you ring in the year. And there are so many people out there who are ringing in this new year with a complete shithead that they are not meant to be with. And that's not you. So there's that.
That's actually a pretty good cope right there. But if you ask me, I think a lot of these women will look at the man they're with and just think he's a shithead anyways. Sometimes these men are completely financing these women. They are providing for these women. They might be married to these women, have kids with these women. And these women are still looking at these men and thinking they're complete shitheads. Like, well, what is this man doing for me? It's completely unappreciated. A lot of men aren't appreciated for a lot of things they do. And it's just kind of sad, but not surprising at all that this kind of video can exist on the TikTok platform. Whereas if a man were to post a video like this, the video would get taken down. The account would be completely permanently banned. Okay, I have said a lot, very, very mild things on TikTok, and I've gotten accounts completely permanently banned, and then try to appeal, and they're basically like, no, you called a woman unattractive, you're completely banned. This is what's going on here. But this video right here, she can post this video, get 20,000 views, and it's perfectly fine. It'll stay up. It'll stay up forever. There's absolutely no accountability for the type of content women put on TikTok, and which is why I just stopped even. I don't even comment, because my comment, even if I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, they will still get reported to a point to where that account that I'm making those comments from gets completely banned. I won't even post anything. No posts, no videos, no nothing. Just comments, and I'll get banned. Just for, I guess at this point, it's just for disagreeing with certain women. Because if you go into a comment section and you disagree with someone, or you tell them the correct facts and they don't like it, then you're getting banned. And if that's the way TikTok wants it, hey, more power to them. This type of cope has been around since the beginning of time. These women are looking into this camera 2 or 3 days before New Year's, and they're coping. They're wondering why they're alone. They're wondering why they were alone for Christmas, why they were alone for New Year's, why are they always alone? They're able to get men in their life, and maybe, one night stands always happen, I guess. A woman like this could, have no problem getting on some sort of like dating app, I guess, and catfishing some dudes. But as far as these men actually being able to live with these women and tolerate these women and listen to these women every day, no. They give them, 3 days? It's like 3 or 4 days these men kind of hang out with these women and then just toss them aside. Now they're back in front of the camera spewing these copes for New Year's? A lot of women are alone for New Year's Eve. I actually think more men are alone for New Year's Eve than women. I think there's plenty of women have plenty of men out there. But I would go as far as to say that maybe the men that spend New Year's Eve alone is probably double the amount that women. That's just in my head. I don't know the actual statistics. I'm just kind of throwing information out there that may or may not be correct. But in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, is that maybe twice as many men are alone on these types of holidays than women. Me, I am alone. I'm going to be spending New Year's Eve alone, but I'm going to be working. I get paid double time on holidays. So I will be working New Year's Eve and getting that sweet, sweet money. But yeah, that's my New Year's Eve plan. I might get off before midnight, but last year I think I worked until 11. So I might get off an hour before midnight, but I don't really celebrate New Year. It's really not that big of a deal. So it's just another day, honestly. I think a lot of men think like that. It's just another day. Women think it's like they have to have plans. Like it's one of the biggest days of the year. And you remember last year when they were hiding underneath their kitchen table eating grapes? What was that all about? I wonder if any of those women actually got married that did that. That was the whole thing, wasn't it? Is that they get under their table and they eat the grapes, and then that would mean that they would be able to find a man. Was that what that was about? I think I watched one video of that, but I really was kind of confused about that whole situation. That's why I didn't really look into it that much. Let's go ahead and let's check out this next one.
I'm here for every holiday. I always talk about how if you don't have plans, that's okay. I'm not saying it doesn't suck, but if you don't have plans, that's okay. And you're not alone. Even though you are literally alone, you are not alone, because every time I make these videos around a holiday, people are like, oh my gosh, I was alone and feeling so sad about it. And this video really helped. And that's why I do it, because I need to show you proof and evidence that you're not alone in the crappy and scary feelings that you're having. Holidays like New Year's Eve, I feel like are particularly difficult because that's like a very social holiday. It's not like Christmas and like related holidays are like very much family oriented, but then you'll have holidays where like Halloween and New Year's Eve where they're like you go out with your friends. Those are holidays where like you go out to the club, you go out to the bars, you go and hang out with your friends. And when you're chronically excluded, when you struggle with friends, when you're really lonely going through a breakup, those are the holidays that I find to be the hardest in terms of like my own personal issues with like struggling to have friends over the years ever since I was young. And so those especially are the ones where I'm like, I need you to know that you're not alone in those sucky feelings. And it's not always going to be like this, because one of my favorite quotes, I'm going to butcher it, but I say this every time, is you have not yet met the people that will mean the most to you in this life.
I wanted to kind of play it until it got to that point right there, because that's a very interesting quote she decided to spew on this clip here, is that she has not yet met the people that will mean the most to her in her life. And that is a common theme that I've been seeing in a lot of sort of this female-centric TikTok space, is that they're always waiting for the next best thing. They could have the best thing they will ever have in their life right in front of them. Right in front of them. They're married, got the husbands, got the kids, the house, the cars. But they have yet to meet that next best Chad is right around the corner for them. And they're still waiting on him. They're still waiting on this Chad. They got their entire life completely in front of them. Everything they've ever wanted. But just around the corner, they have yet to meet that super Chad that is just about to swing in and rescue her from what she has to deal with in her life. This is how these women think. They're still waiting for that next best friend. They're still waiting for that next dude to swoop in and whatever. So exhausting, completely delusional as well, that you think that you're just going to be. What are you waiting for? What are you doing? These women, they have to literally do nothing. Okay, both of these women probably have a whole inbox filled with DMs, and yet they are complaining like this. This comment reads, "I have to spend New Year's Eve alone this year. I really need some encouragement about it." This seems like here's my advice, and we'll get back to the rest of this clip in a second, but here's my advice. If you see a woman that has to get on in front of their camera and say this, or if you have a woman that makes a comment like this that needs encouragement about being alone on a random Wednesday, are you kidding me right now? Completely delusional.
There is still hope. Just because your holiday is like this year, and it has been in the past, doesn't mean the future holidays will always be like this, okay? So I want you to focus on yourself. If you don't have plans and you're feeling upset and sad and lonely, I want you to focus on yourself, and I want you to know that you can still make the most of it and take care of yourself. Put all that energy into yourself and do like a self-care day and do all the fun things just for yourself, because you are all that you need. I love you. Make the most of this holiday, and we will get through it.
I honestly don't even consider New Year's a holiday, really. It's really not a holiday. Okay, that's something we can talk about. New Year's is really not a holiday. It's just another day. Nothing really happens. Was that just to get advertisers playtime? I wonder what the profit margins were during the New Year's Eve shows for some of these advertisers to get put on TV. It's one of these kind of fake. I think the same thing about Valentine's Day. It's just a very consumerist type holiday, a very capitalist way of thinking, where it's just a day that you have to go out and you have to, obviously New Year's Eve, you're going to be out drinking and you're going to be out partying. Big groups of people go to these bars and clubs or wherever they're going. So there's definitely money being spent. The same thing with Valentine's. Well, you're going to go out, you're going to buy your special someone some chocolates. Well, men don't really get gifts on Valentine's Day, but a lot of women do. So yeah, what is it with these types of holidays that are basically just these huge huge holidays where you just have to go out and buy and have to spend, that women are attracted to? That, I think, is the biggest question here. Women are going to remain alone on these holidays. I see this only getting worse as time goes on. I think a lot of men are kind of like I am, and I'm just kind of assuming this, but they would rather just work, make extra money. Okay, like this individual was saying, maybe working on yourself, a day or whatever she was saying. I would rather just make money. I would rather just go into work and make some money, which is what I will be doing on New Year's Eve. But let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment, like the video. I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.